I swear every week I find myself surprised by hardcore MAGA Trump supporters. I really do. Because every week they'll do, say, believe a thing that makes me go, well, this is the dumbest thing of all time. Truly, they've reached the upper limits of idiocy and can travel no further. And yet each and every week, time and time again, they prove me wrong. And this past week's particular example of novel asininity is so spellbindingly stupid it nearly beggars belief. Because last week they genuinely convinced themselves that Trump was never actually a predator. No. You see, he was in fact the whole time actually an undercover elite asset working with the FBI to bring Jeffrey Epstein to justice once and for all. Right. This truly ridiculous notion came about from an impromptu comment made by Republican Speaker Mike Johnson, who, in the midst of an ill-fated attempt to make even one lick of sense, blurted out that Trump was an FBI informant in the Epstein case. To which everyone who's even average at thinking about stuff responded, bro, what? But sadly, a great many of our countrymen are hopelessly inept at stuff thinking, and as such, they found this claim to be very validating, vindicating. In other words, they probably don't understand. First of all, as many have pointed out, it's weird to be pumped that your hero was an informer in the first place. It's like y'all are like, ha, see? Our guy had such intimate knowledge of the inner workings of an infamous global child sex trafficking operation that the FBI offered him immunity in exchange for it. Suck on that, libs. It's like, well, that's not good. You can't really inform if you ain't got information, which is not something innocent people typically have in the case of a pedo ring. But that's not really how they treated it anyway. The whole time they treated it like he was some sort of undercover covert ops white hat pedophile, you know, that old chestnut. So how did that come about anyway? Like, was the FBI sitting around a table 20 years ago just racking their brains at how to crack this case, and one of them says, we need a secret weapon, an agent so adept at subterfuge, so artfully cunning that Epstein will never see him coming. And then the TV behind them shows Trump rubbing his hands together as Brett Michaels and Omarosa fight over a goddamn walnut or some shit, and they're like, that's our guy. Like, these people really believe that Donald Trump was like, look, I don't want to skeeve around teenage beauty pageant dressing rooms for a quarter of a century, but God damn it, I'll do it for my country. Like, come on, y'all. And yes, Johnson already walked all this back, but many of these people already believe Trump was the hero of this story anyway because of QAnon, so I really don't think this wacko well is running dry anytime soon. Meanwhile, over here in sane land, the situation just grows ever more damning as this week, Trump's infamous happy birthday and thanks for all the sex crimes letter to Epstein was released. And in keeping with our theme here, somehow turned out to be even creepier than previously thought due to the immature nature of its accompanying artwork. So yeah, here we are. Those of us committed to keeping our heads unasked, just gesturing wildly at the ever-expanding mountain of evidence that America's president is a first ballot Hall of Fame predator, and we're begging the Christian family values contingent to acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, something is rotten in the state of Denmark. All right, YouTube, more in just a second, but I just want to say it doesn't just depend on your intellect in terms of how you respond to a claim like Mike Johnson's. It also depends heavily on what media you consume in this country. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, let's say you're sent this article with this headline. Speaker Johnson says Trump was working as FBI informant against Epstein. Like, it's framed in a certain way, right? It's like, oh, he was helping. He was doing his best. Look at him. How heroic of him. That's the impression you get if you only get the information from this one far right leaning source, as you can see up here on the Ground News Chrome extension. But if you follow this button through to the full coverage, you get a broader picture on Ground News. That's what they do, collect all the coverage in one place so you can make your own highly informed decisions. If we use Ground News to sort by the bias of the outlet and compare the headlines that way on the left, you know, they've got a lot of thoughts about this. This one says, despite Jeffrey Epstein hoax comments, Speaker claims Trump wants everything to come out. So they're pointing out the inherent sort of inconsistency in the way that Johnson spoke about it. Mike Johnson recanted his claim that Trump was a, quote, FBI informant in the Epstein case. If Trump really was an informant, what did he do to stay undercover? Hey, just asking questions. That's the less version of that, although I'd say it's a fairly pertinent question. But over on the right, feels a little different. They're just pointing out the more reasonable ones. Speaker Johnson walks back comment that Trump was an FBI informant in Epstein case. Like, hey, listen, we're not crazy over here, okay? Down here though, Mike Johnson makes shocking claim about Trump involvement in Epstein saga. A little clickbaity. Everybody get on board. Find out what the president's up to. So you can see sort of the different ways that the same information is framed depending on the source of said information in the media. That's the extra context that you get from Ground News. They put as much information in your head as possible so you can make your own decisions on the matter. Before you ever click an article on Ground News, you can see where the money comes from, the ownership group. You can see the factuality rating. You can see the bias of the outlet. Just more context than you're going to get anywhere else.
So if that sounds good to you, if you've had it with the way the American media landscape conducts itself and you want to push back, then you can scan that QR code. You can click the link in the description below, and you can try Ground News today for 40% off their highest tiered Vantage plan. That's $5 a month. It's the one with all the perks, all the bells, all the whistles. That's the one that I use. That's the one you need. But either way, the time is now. Push back on the bias and BS. Try Ground News today. All right, YouTube, man, we're back. Look, for the second part of the day, I don't know how funny any of this is going to be. You guys are like, oh, he's consistent. But I've been driven almost crazy this week by another thing that's happened. First of all, there's the horrific stabbing death on the subway in Charlotte, North Carolina, right? But obviously that would disturb anyone. But what's really pissing me off is the aftermath of it, particularly on the right. Imagine that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a black man stabbed a white Ukrainian refugee girl to death on a subway for seemingly no reason whatsoever. And it's one of the most fucked up, disturbing videos you will ever see. It doesn't hit for anybody. Of course it doesn't. No one's making that argument. But the right has gone crazy with it, posting it over and over again on Twitter and all over, you know, the dumbest, worst parts of the internet, just saying like, why are people not talking about this? Where is the outrage? Post it's like, oh yeah, okay, so let me get this straight. So a police officer kills George Floyd, a drug addict, you know, and oh, there's riots in the streets. Cities are on fire. People, this whole country falls apart over that. But something this heinous happens and it's just silence on radio, silence, crickets. It's like, no, it's not. No. First of all, no. It's all over the goddamn place. I see it everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. Y'all are fucking getting the pitchforks ready for Van Jones because of the way he responded to it on CNN, the biggest cable news network other than the one all of the papaws listen to. So, like, it's being talked about. So I really don't know what the fuck you're talking about in that case, first of all. Secondly, like, they're not the same thing. Derek Chauvin was a cop. This country had seen cops kill people, like, over and over again with no repercussions whatsoever, and it was sort of a straw that broke the camel's back situation. People were demanding for like systematic change in the order of policing. There's no analogy to that here. The guy got caught. He got caught immediately. He's been charged with murder. I'm sure he's going to go away probably forever, and of course he should. What else is supposed to happen? Like, seriously, what is the implication from these people? Like, what like grand cultural change, sweeping cultural change do they think should come from this case? Because all I can come up with is, like, get rid of black people? Is that what you're trying to say? Make dreads illegal or what? Like seriously, what is their implication when they say that, when they try to make that comparison? It's like, I'm tired of ignoring this. We can't just keep closing our eyes to these things. We need action needs to be taken. It's like, what? That guy was a crazy, fucked up piece of shit who did something horrific and is gonna face the justice system for it. It's not like he's being let off or anything. So sincerely, what the fuck else do these people want or expect to happen as a result of a one-off horrific tragedy like that? What? And they don't know either. Again, because it's all that like dog whistle, half saying what I mean while never really saying it type of bullshit where it's like, I'm just asking questions. I'm just saying. It's like they always maintain a sheen of plausible deniability all the time, where it's like they don't go all the way in saying what they really mean, but it's like they know that everybody that's on their team gets the message, but they think somehow the rest of us don't, or they don't even care if we don't. They give themselves enough cover to back off and be like, no, look, nobody's saying that. It's like, well, what the fuck are you saying then? Like, I don't know. It's again, no one, it's not, they act like fucking we're throwing parades because a black guy stabbed a white girl. Like, nobody's fucking doing that. Nobody likes it. Nobody thinks it's good. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've had it with these people, and yeah, some of y'all may not even really know what I'm talking about. It's because I get on Twitter to see what the right is pissed off about, and then I get upset at what they're pissed off about. So like, I'm kind of doing it to myself, but I don't think it's just on Twitter. It's other places. But anyway, these people, they're just fully out of control. They're not, not just stupid, but angry. Have you guys noticed that? Am I the only one that's picking up on that? Is that a novel assessment that they're both stupid and angry? Is that just me? Anyway, I don't know. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll put these things up here for y'all. This is my last special Trash Daddy. Please watch that. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, see all these videos and all my like cooking videos, stand-up clips, podcasts, other stuff. The important one to me, this one, TraeCrowder.com, one of these two. It's my website, which got dates, ticket links where I do stand-up comedy. Check it out. If I'm coming near you, come see me. It's a good time. If you like these, you like that. So Hope you'll consider it either way. If you keep watching these, I'll keep making them. Love you like chicken. See you. Bye.